Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7, out and about again with another view from the van, and that follows on from this weekend's fantastic game, fantastic result, 4-0 against Aston Villa, and Newcastle, of course, cementing the place in the top four and showing a little bit of Champions League quality, putting Villa to the sword, and they got ultimately what they deserve, which was fuck all from the game. A game they had no shots on target on, only 40% possession. We scored 4, we hit the post, the woodwork twice, keeping us at the very top of the woodwork league. If you check that out on the socials, we are clear for the amount of times hitting the post and the likes this season. But yeah, Villa got what they deserved. You know, first half, I mean, oh my word, how much time did they spend rolling about on the floor, over sort of dramatising tackles, looking to time waste, looking to disrupt the floor, looking to buy free kicks, looking for any sort of cheap, dirty trick tactics. They were like a pair of prostitute knickers. It was up, down, fucking down. But in the end, it was Aston Villa who got fucked royally, because when that goal went in by Callum Wilson, it was scored in stoppage time that was only there and only was so long because of their antics and their pathetic desperation at trying to get anything out of this fucking game. So yeah, it was absolutely a sense of justice. Nobody wants to see the goalkeeper come off concussed, but he should have been taken off the first time he went down, and he should have been taken off straight away. It was absolutely ridiculous, but take that to one side, park that to one side. Obviously the health of a player comes the top priority and everything, but their offensive players, fuck me, I don't know what they were wearing, ballerina shoes? It certainly wasn't footy boots, because they were just rolling all over, and the acting, it was WWE crossed with the fucking Oscars. It was that noteworthy. So yeah, we scored in stoppage time at the end, 51st minute or so. Callum Wilson, of course, who else, converting the penalty, cool, calm as you like. And as soon as that went in, you just felt, right, that should be it. And we went in at half time. Eddie had a few words with them. They came out all guns a-blazing after a half-time featuring the likes of Ryan Taylor and David Ginola, which was fantastic to see. Club's got to keep doing more of that. We go into the second half, and Newcastle literally just obliterated them in a spell at the beginning of the game, and they just couldn't live with it. Again, set pieces, clever manoeuvres, being bright. You can see the work that's been done on the training ground. We used to be shite under Bruce with set pieces, and yeah, the goal was beautiful, chipped in, bang, there you go. Callum Wilson, again, Mr. Johnny on the spot, knocks it in, 2-0, and then everybody around us, we were all jumping up when the shot went in. We thought Callum Wilson's got his hat-trick, rebound, great little counter-attacking move it was at that particular time. Joe Linton, the place went mad for Joe Linton, of course. T-Day, not the Aston Villa supporters, they were a bunch of tits, obviously. But T-Day, the Brazilian manager, he was there, he was watching, and no doubt he has to have been impressed with big Joe Linton, who'll be missing for the next game. Got his 5th yellow card against this lot, so he'll miss the Southampton game, but he scored to make it 3-0, and at that time it was just sort of party atmosphere. It really, really was. And then, if that wasn't already good enough, Miggy gets the ball, and honestly, I think he's going to have his own goal of the season competition when it comes up at the end of the campaign, because this was probably the best goal of the lot, and the way that he just curled it around. But as soon as it's left the end of his boot, I just screamed to Carlos, "It's fucking in this! It's in! It's in! It's in!" And the roar, the love from the crowd to Miggy Almiron, who I've seen called Messi Almiron in other places, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. It's great for the lad. He just plays with his smile. He plays in the right way. He's proven it on the pitch. He's not chatting shit like a certain fucking Manchester City player did. He's doing it on the park. He's doing it on the pitch. And the difference is, me and Carl won about it. I said, look, even last season, he was getting into these positions, but he's got his shooting boots on, he's got the confidence, he's had a pre-season with a good manager, his fitness is absolutely amazing, he's sprinting all over the place, he's putting tackles in left, right and centre, he's, at the back, then he's sprinting forward. He's got an amazing athleticism, an amazing tenacity. It just doesn't stop for the entire game. I just said, look, the difference is the pre-season, is the management, it's the coaching. He's getting in the same positions, but now he's just finding the back of the net. He's getting that reward for all of his good work. And bang, 4-0. Like I touched on before, saying we're top of the Woodwork League, we hit the post twice more. Callum Wilson, obviously he'd hit the post, so he'd hit the bar. Thought he was going to score again. I thought it was he's going to be his hat-trick. And yet the post was struck as well, wasn't it, from Jacob Murphy, I think it was. So again, close to getting more goals. Had a goal ruled out as well during the game. Countless other opportunities. I mean, 20 plus shots were taken by Newcastle United during the game, so it could and probably should have been a lot more goals, but the goal difference plus 14 is looking amazingly healthy with regards to the competition around us in the lower European slots. So that is good. And the run goes on. The run just goes on. Southampton away next weekend won't be easy. No, Joe Linden will miss his physicality. Again, his athleticism that's in there, and the work that he gets through, no doubt about it. But Alan St-Maximin was back. It was good to see a little cameo from him. John Joe Shelby was back. Great to see him back back involved in the game. So there are options there. There's a possibility to maybe move Willock as well out to play maybe a bit more wide left and to bring somebody into the middle. You could play John Joe Shelby and push Bruno a little bit more offensively, which is something that I would like to see. But yeah, to remind, it was another fantastic team performance. The first half, a couple of little shaky moments from Sean Longstaff, Big Dan Burn. When I'm saying little shaky moments, we're talking Ants Knobs shaky moments in comparison to recent performances. But again, second half, I thought they massively stepped it up. Sean was fantastic. Big Dan Burn was fantastic. The entire defensive unit seemed obsessed with keeping another clean sheet, which is great to see. To be fair, Nick Pope, the England manager was up there watching, Fanny Face. Southgate was watching on. He could have taken his gloves off, gone up there, had a conversation with Gareth Southgate about the World Cup and the squad and stuff like that, and come back down, and it would have been absolutely fine, because Aston Villa just, I was saying to Kyle during the game, if it was a boxing match, they'd have thrown the white towel in, because there was a period where they just could not live with us. And I think if Newcastle wanted to, it could have been much more. A load of substitutions. Chris Wood, oh my word, great ball crossed in, missed a glorious chance to add a goal and to get some sort of momentum for the lad. So again, another opportunity that we could have had. This could and should have been 6 and 7 easily. And then to see the likes of Gabby Agbonlahor fucking crying, and the likes, absolutely fucking sweet as. It's like a bonus point to me seeing that little tosser who spouts his shit having to eat a little bit of humble pie and give us a little bit of credit. And you could see all the time doing it, he's not happy about having to do it. But it's tough tit. It is fucking tough tit. Aston Villa got what they deserved, and that's fuck all from the game, because they put fuck all in. Mings was absolutely miserable at the back for them. Young, and he came just in front of us, and I said to him, you need to retire, mate. You need to give it up, because the legs were nowhere. When Jacob Murphy come on, he literally shat his pants. Jacob Murphy! And he shat his pants. And Jacob Murphy, honestly, he had him on fucking toast. Left, right, centre, was beating him every time. We've named some decent balls, to be fair. But there's no way you can play Ashley Young at all. That should not even come into your mind, not cross your mind. Unai Emery has got a lot to do at Villa Park to turn their fortunes around. They need a lot of players to come in. They need to get rid of some. Have they got the money? Have they got the pot of cash to be able to do that? Time will tell, of course. Their owners will have to dig deep and obviously look out ways of how to keep within FFP and also give the manager something to be able to build on. I don't think Villa are going to go down. I don't think that. They have some good players, but I mean, as we saw with Bruce and then Eddie Howe coming in, it's going to take a little bit of time. This World Cup break probably comes for a good time for them, but a bad time for us, with momentum on our side. But where Aston Villa, apart from obviously the previous weekend, haven't had a great deal to shout about this season. But yeah, tough shit on them. I look forward to the return match, and I look forward to giving them another beating. Yeah, another beating. That would be nice. Aston Villa, ever since Sob on the Tyne and all that sort of thing, become one of them teams that you love to get a victory over, just because of how they celebrate and how they went on and the antics and everything else like that. Second half, the atmosphere I thought was absolutely fantastic. It was a good laugh around where we were sitting down in the Gallagher corner area. Plenty of sing-songs, even on about when Newcastle were going to win the league. Bit of tongue-in-cheek, a bit of a laugh, a bit of Geordie boys taking the piss afterwards. It was great to see. Unbelievable at the moment. Everything at our club is such just an absolute perfect storm. That positive momentum, that positive energy is just sort of pushing us all on, and it's great to see. Again, outside the stadium after the game, everybody really happy. Again, still plenty of songs, and that's despite the fact that the weather was pretty shit at the weekend. Let's face it, it was pretty shit. But yeah, we finished under the floodlights. The displays, the war flag stuff, that was absolutely fantastic. The Callum Wilson Hey Baby song, that came on after the game and stuff as well. We've got all those videos up on our Twitter and also on the TikTok account if you want to check out all of that sort of good stuff as well. Like I touched on before, we go into Southampton. There'll be a full preview for that, but we will be missing Big Joe, but we have got St. Maximin back, and that's the scary thing, you know, this first part of the season, that we have had so many players missing, unavailable during this time. What is it going to be like when Isaac's back? What's going to be like when we can play ASM and Joe Linton and Bruno and Miggy and everybody together, and we've got all that combinations, we've got all that talent fit and available for us? You know, we have got another gear or two, I think, to be able to go up, and that's a scary thing. You know, we started off a little bit slow with a few draws and stuff like that, but you could see the potential was there, and it was frustrating draws as opposed to draws when, you know, we shouldn't have got a draw and we've nicked one. So the football is getting better all the fucking time, and you just know that come January and that transfer window, again, there's going to be movement. There's going to be players going out, players going in. We've got the young lad as well already signed up, the Australian lad, who looks an absolute amazing talent and stuff as well. So, you know, I just can't wait. It seems a bit daft, but it's just like you want to get this World Cup done and out of the way as quickly as possible to get back to the real deal, because it's all about black and white for me. It's all about, yeah, if England do well, that's great, it's a little bit of a bonus. I don't think we're going to do that well given who we've got in charge. I just don't really I can't, and I've never been able to get fully behind them. All this waistcoat shite and palaver, I just can't buy into it. I just don't think being a Middlesbrough boss and the likes is a CV enough for a man who should be in charge of the national team. That's just my opinion, and even as a Newcastle fan, I'm not worrying about losing Eddie Howe to England. I'm not. He's part of a huge project. He's got a new contract in place. Exciting times for the club. He's building it from literally, you know, being on our arse end to, you know, in the hunt for Europe, and it's only going to get bigger and better. And that's the great thing, you know. We're so enjoying, and you come even to work on a Monday and you've got a smile on your face, but you know that the future is going to get better. You know, things feel fantastic now, and we're being promised better and more and bigger and better things to come. Absolutely amazing, fantastic. yeah, fantastic. Everything to do with the football club is fantastic at the moment, which is a little bit sort of the opposite to how it is at Aston Villa. But yeah, definitely Newcastle, worthy winners on the day. Enjoyed the day, enjoyed the game, enjoyed the banter, enjoyed the songs, the flags, the goals, the little moments of play, the little one-touches, the little back heels, the fantastic array of long balls spread over from one end of one corner of the pitch to the next, finding the man. Fabian Schär, unbelievable with his range and his distribution. Bruno, of course, was, you know, again, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and again he was serenaded by the fans in front of the Brazilian manager, no less. Gareth Southgate may have a few head scratching moments and a few things to think about with regards to Big Dan Burn as well, and his flexibility to be able to play at left back or centre back as well. So the good times are rolling, there's no doubt about it. We'll be back later in the week with the preview, and obviously anything else that breaks in the meantime, we'll be covering it on Magpie 24/7. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. We're into the sort of final 100 now to get up to that first 1,000 on the YouTube side. So we really do appreciate all of your continued support on Magpie 24/7. I want to get back to work because I can see, yeah, there's lots of things here to sort out. So in the meantime, take care, keep it tuned, fuck the Villa, sub on the hold, take care, keep it tuned.